Now what I've got, this is what I want to show you with regard to the improved blend that I've been talking about and the improved transition in the blends. So I've got here BP1, I'm going to put them all in order for you can see. BP2, put them, see, I'm even having to get the chisels and the bullets lined up right, that's how pedantic I am. And then I've got BP3, BP4 and BP5. Okay, so you can see there on the ends of my pen, look at that fabulous transition of colour through those bright pinks, and you can see how smooth and even that is. That now translates directly to the colours that you're colouring down, which makes it very easy for you when you're colouring and you want to get that lovely light to dark, which you need with alcohol markers. We're going to look at that again in a second because I want to cover all of the information for you. But I just want to show you on this piece of card here, by putting down my BP1 first and then beside it my BP2. Look how subtle, but how you can see that that's just a little bit darker. You can see that there. It's important that you've got these subtle transitions to get that fantastic smooth airbrushed colouring look that you want with alcohol markers. Then I've got my BP3 going beside that, and you can see transition again. And then I've got my BP4. Look, they're all from the same colour tone and colour family, but it's getting darker as we go along. How fantastic is this? This is what you were crying out for in our markers. This is what you were saying you desperately needed with that improved transition. I'm even going to take out BP6 here because I'm just on a roll. With that improved transition through that same colour family from light all the way up to dark and BP7. Why stop at 6 when you've got 7? And you can see how effortless and easy that is with those colours, and you're going to be able to get fantastic results. Now I think I'm going to colour a flower in with those colours that I've got out there so I can show you what I mean about that fabulous transition. Here we are. I've got a poppy, and I know poppies aren't usually pink, but hey ho. So I'm going to start with BP3. I'm going to go with BP3, BP, whatever that is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, BP2, BP6 and BP7. Okay, so 7, I think I said 6, didn't I? 2, I'm just picking them out here, BP2 and BP6. Have I got 6 in my hand already? Where's 6 gone? 4, have I put it back? Oh, put it back in the thing. How silly. Right, okay, so I've got 2, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want number 5. Getting them right. 2, 5 and 6. And I'm going to use a bit of 7 as well in a second. Okay, so what you're going to do when you're colouring with alcohol markers is always start with the lightest colour. And you will choose one small area at a time, so one petal at a time. And that's because alcohol marker has alcohol in it, surprisingly enough. It clues in the name, and alcohol evaporates and dries very quickly and just leaves the dye behind on the card. So if you colour really large areas, your alcohol is going to evaporate at different rates, and you're going to get dry areas and wet areas, and you won't get that beautiful smooth blend. So when you're approaching a floral like this, don't approach the whole flower in one go. Only deal with it one petal at a time. And I'll also explain another reason why that's really important as we go along. So what I'm going to do is get my lightest colour down onto this petal. So I'm just doing it with my bullet nib and little small round circular actions there. And I'm getting a good amount of the ink down, so I've got a nice wet coverage on there. And I'm preserving my highlight at the top. I'm now going to take the darkest colour that I want to use here, which is my BP6. And I'm going to add in my BP6 where I want it to be darker, where I want there to be shade. So BP6 is going in there, you can see that. And then my BP5 will join the blend between the two together. And so I go up to the line of the BP6 I've just put down. BP5 pulls that out into the first layer of the BP2 there. And then when I go back to BP2 and drag that blend out up the petal, I've got a lovely alcohol colour transition, smooth coloured petal using those pink colours there. Now, if I had wanted to make this petal a little darker, I can choose, do you know what, I've just got a pen here, a biro, and I just want to make this really obvious for you all, so I'm going to write the numbers beside it because I think that'll help. So I've got BP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay, I just wanted to do that because it's going to make me easier to explain as we go along. Let's say I want the petal to be darker. So I might decide, actually, I'm going to use 4, 6 and 7. What would that look like? Because what I'm doing is just missing out a gap. So I've got all of my bright pinks, and because they run in that beautiful same colour family through all of the colours there, I can choose any of those in 3s and get a different coloured result, but no, it's going to work. So I'm going to go 3, I'm going to go 4, 6 and 7, right? I'm going 4, 6 and 7, and because I'm using them all from the BP family, I just know and can be confident that they're going to work. And the amount of fun you're going to have with this, experimenting and getting all of these different colour combinations, it's going to blow your mind. So now I'm starting with BP4. So now this is my lightest. It was actually it was my middle tone before, I think. So I've got my BP4 down here, little circular motions. There we go. Then my darkest colour now is BP7, which is the darkest one in the range. And I'm putting my darkest in over the top where I want it to be shaded. There we go. See that there? And then my middle colour now is BP6. So I go up to the edge of the darkest, drag that out into that first layer of colour, which was the BP4. And then I go back to the BP4, which was my first layer of lightest colour. And now I drag that back up the rest of the petal. And you'll be able to see there that on that second petal, I've got a very different look of colour. It's more intense than this one, because I just used 3 other colours from that range. If I wanted it to be a very pastel petal, I can just use 1, 2 and 3 from down here. So I've got 1, 3, and where is 2? Have I put it back? Oh, is this 2? There it is, number 2. So I would do exactly the same, and I really wanted to show you this because I think it's great to show you how by just using and extending your colour blends, which you're getting in that bundle already worked out for you, your 3 colours for a blend in your pink selection, and your extended blends with the Create, is going to give you all of these options. And then if you choose to add more of the single markers in to get your extended blends, then you can, but you don't have to. It's not absolutely necessary. You've got the colours you need in that 144 marker bundle. And then I go back to the light. I'm doing exactly the same as I did with the other 2 petals. And what you'll be able to see is by using those markers that come along, I have got 3 very different petals on my florals using the same colour family, just changing the numbers and the intensity as you work around them. And what you should be able to see is the superior blend that you've got here. Really, really beautiful. I'm going to pick it up and show you actually, in fact. You've got no splitting, no bleeding, no, that way, there we go. No mottling on there, no spotting. You've just got beautiful, smooth, gorgeous colour with lovely blends. And the colours in here are exactly the same as you've got in your Illustrator markers and you've got in your Tri-Blend markers. So they will all work together seamlessly.